Welcome back to Jed Talks Live, the show where I sit down with creators, friends, and fascinating people to dive into their passions, projects, and the stories behind them. Today's episode is a spooky one. My guest is Dominic Lopez, the host of Monster Movie Fun Time Go, where he shares his love for monster movies. Every October, he takes a wild tradition, 31 days of horror. That's right, one podcast episode every single day in October, all about horror movies. We'll talk about how this tradition got started, the madness of recording and editing daily, I can tell you that much, the movies that broke him, and why he keeps coming back year after year. Plus, we'll geek out over some monster movie favorites. Welcome to the show, Dom.
Thanks for having me, Jed.
Yeah. You know, I feel like a sense of deja vu, like I started this show 10 minutes ago and forgot to push record the first time.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's all about. It's my first time to ever do that, I promise. I'm a part of some sort of club now, apparently, for podcasters. Speaking of, I've been able to be a guest on Dom's show before, which I'm always grateful to do. So I'm glad that you're doing it again this year. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about your podcast, and then we'll start talking about your 31 days.
Okay. Well, it's called Monster Movie Fun Time Go, and we are going through the history of kaiju movies.
And what are kaiju movies? Because I don't know.
Those are giant monster movies. Kaiju is a Japanese term. It means strange beast, basically monster.
Okay.
And dai kaiju are giant or great strange beasts.
Gesundheit.
But that was going to be the original title of my show. It was going to be Kaiju Gesundheit, but I Googled it and someone was already using it.
Nothing's original in this world anymore.
So I decided to do something that sounded like a sort of a bad translation of something from Japanese into English.
Or even AI nowadays.
Yeah. So, it was a little bit inspired by J-Pop America Fun Time Now.
Oh my goodness!
That was a Saturday Night Live sketch. I was trying to evoke that kind of title. Anyway, I wanted to do a show years ago. My friend Honeybee, on the show. I'm Precious D, and she's Honeybee. We used to joke about having a show, and then a while back, I was like, anybody can have a show now. We can just do that.
That's right. It's not against the law.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We don't have to talk a radio station into putting us on the air.
That's right.
But I thought we needed to have some kind of focus rather than just whatever random crap came into our heads that day. So I decided to do Godzilla movies, but that would be over too fast. So we decided to do the history of kaiju movies. So we started with King Kong, and we're moving forward chronologically. But during that first year, when October came around, I said, let's do 31 Days of Horror. And we just did a whole bunch of random horror movies. And we did that for the first 2 years. We're in our 5th year now. So for year 3 and 4, we had themes. Year 3 was Oops, All Werewolves. And year 4 was zombies. And this year we're doing Mars Needs Movies.
Mars Needs Movies. I'm really excited about this one.
Yeah. So a while back, somebody asked Honeybee if we were going to be doing War of the Worlds, if those counted as kaiju. And I said, no, they're not really. They're mecha. They're giant robots that are being, they're not even robots. They're being piloted by the aliens. So I didn't think they really counted as kaiju. But it occurred to me you could do a whole podcast, not just about aliens, but about aliens coming to Earth. And there's so many movies where an alien or a group of aliens have come to Earth for an invasion, an incursion, infiltration, or just a visitation. So I decided to try it out with this year's 31 Days of Horror. And if it goes well, then we'll spin it off. Normally we do a show every week. Mars Needs Movies might be only every month or every 2 weeks. I don't know. We'll just have to see how the schedule works out.
Outside this, that's if you spin it off outside of this 31 days. I got you. Okay.
Yeah. So it'll be every day for October, and then going forward, maybe every month or every 2 weeks, something like that.
So how do you pick the movies that you're like? I know you've got the theme now, but how do you pick the movies?
it's a combination of things. Of course, we wanted to do War of the Worlds, and then the more recent Tom Cruise version of War of the Worlds.
Not the Ice Cube version that just came out.
We'll get to that one eventually. And there's a number of other ones. There's like H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, which was a low budget, blue screen heavy one, but that was trying to be accurate to the book.
Okay.
Like the time period and everything.
Right.
And then there's like 3 or 4 different pieces of crap from the asylum, or as I like to call them, the goddamn asylum.
Understandable.
They're... And then there's a couple of other things like War of the Worlds, The Attack, I think it's called, from a couple of years ago. And there's 2 different TV series. But for this, to start off, we're just going to do the one from the 50s and the one from 2005, I think it is. And then it was just a matter of just thinking. Well, some of them just came across Tubi. You know, I'm like, oh, that's an alien invasion movie.
Right.
Others were just favorite ones from throughout the years, like we're going to do They Live, Transformers. Yeah. My sister Lita loves Transformers. I mean, she loves the toys. She watches the movies. I don't know how much she loves them, but Transformers is aliens coming to Earth.
Right. It's exactly just because they're metal doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. There's still an alien incursion going on there. And what are some of the other ones? I think we're going to do The Arrival. The Arrival. Not Arrival.
No, I remember that one.
That's the Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen, yeah. With a goatee. Charlie Sheen with a goatee. No, I'm not trying to emulate Charlie Sheen.
We're going to do one of the Invasion of the Body Snatchers, things like that.
Okay. I mean, because I've seen lots of alien invasion movies. It would be hard for me to come up with 31 of them. So
Oh, no. You got to start trimming it. Yeah, once you start making a list like this, it's not a matter of finding enough. It's a matter of scaling it down.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. Has there what's been the hardest what's been the hardest of your 31 Days of Horror? What's been the hardest theme? Any of them have any of them been like the hardest to like fill up 31, or is it always?
See, before I chose the Martians, I was thinking of doing mummies, and I think that one might have been a little hard to come up with 31 of them.
Sure,
but you go to Tubi and type in mummy, and a bunch of crap you never heard of will start showing up. So
I mean, didn't Abbott and Costello also do like one with the mummy or something? Yeah, you start getting into those. It's not really.
The thing is, I don't want to do too many of the classic ones, because when we run out of kaiju movies, we're going to start doing like Universal Monsters, because it's called monster movie, not kaiju movie. So
sure,
because eventually we're already up to. We started in 1933 with King Kong, but now we're up to like 2019 already. So we're going to catch up pretty soon. This year, we're going to catch up, I think. And then we'll move on to Universal Monsters and things like Hammer Horror. And then we'll just, as new kaiju movies come out, we'll do those.
Okay.
I'm thinking, it's not on my list, but maybe it'll be part of the ongoing Mars Needs movies. The new Fantastic Four movie is both a kaiju movie and an alien invasion movie.
Wow, I didn't know. I've not seen it yet.
You got to see it.
I need to, of course. I know. I feel bad. I didn't get to see Superman in the movie theater either, but
that was a mistake. Have you seen it since?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Since it's been on HBO.
Yeah, I saw it once it came on HBO, and it's not for a lack of wanting to see either one of those movies. I've just been traveling, and I've just been it's just.
I'm gonna complain for a minute. It's not a complaint about Superman itself. Loved it. Best Superman movie yet.
I know how you're a huge fan.
Yeah. It's the best one yet.
Of Superman in general.
But I pre-ordered it on Amazon, and it showed up on HBO like 4 days before the release date of the physical copy. Usually they want to give the stores a couple of weeks to sell those physical ones. And then the day it was supposed to come, I get a message from Amazon saying, we're sorry, your package has been delayed. We'll say, do you still want it? And at first I said yes. And they're like, we'll send you an email when we have a shipping date or an arrival date. And I go look on the page, and it is like expected in 2 to 3 months. I'm like, what is this? So on the way home, I went to Walmart, and once I had it in my hand, I canceled that order. And then I just saw some random person on Blue Sky or Twitter or whatever also complaining how did Amazon sell out of Superman? So
Right.
it wasn't just my problem.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And I know some of those things you get from Amazon too. They're just like, it'll be here in 3 months. It's like October, especially if you're ordering something for like Halloween. It's like October will be done and gone by that point in time. I don't need it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So
there's also a kaiju in Superman, by the way.
What, really?
Yeah.
So you'll have to, I'm still new to the kaiju, so you'll have to explain how, without giving away any spoilers, how the.
I mean, he just has to fight a giant monster.
Well, I guess that's true. Okay. I get you.
I mean, they're in the, he's got to do that every now and then in the comics.
Right.
Anyway.
Right.
And in fact, there's been some comics that are, both Marvel and DC are doing Godzilla comics right now.
Wow.
DC's doing Godzilla versus Kong versus the Justice League. Or the Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong.
What you mean, Justice Gang?
And and Marvel is doing Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, how are they both able to do this? It's actually two different licenses. Because DC has licensed the MonsterVerse stuff from Legendary Films.
Uh-huh.
And Marvel has licensed classic Godzilla from Toho.
Okay.
So I think that's how they're both doing the same thing, because it's technically two different licenses.
Wow. That's pretty crazy. Well, okay. So I've got a question. So I've been doing podcasts, not as long as you've been doing them. But talk about some of the struggles of recording a podcast every day in the month of October and publishing it every day in the month of October.
Well, working out schedules with the guests is a thing. I tried to start recording ahead of time. The first year I was just doing it each day pretty much. But then I'm like, I should start this in September. And this year, September was halfway over, 2/3 over before I was like, oh, crap.
It did. It went by so fast.
Yeah, I haven't done anything yet. So that's one thing, the scheduling. The other thing is the internet connection. Because I'm recording remotely with everybody.
That's right. Because unlike here, where we're like in my studio, you do all of yours over the phone.
Yeah,
or over computer to computer or whatever.
Yeah. We usually we use Discord. Sometimes we use Riverside.
Right.
But most of the time, I'm recording remotely.
Yeah.
And that's with the regular podcast too. Honeybee does not live here in Odessa. She's in Austin.
Okay.
So every now and then we're in the same room at the same time, but most of the time we're recording remotely. And actually what we do when we do it, we each record ourselves locally, and we are on Discord and we're recording the Discord conversation, and we use that just to kind of sync it up. But she sends me, she uploads, to like the Google Drive or something, her recording. So I put our two recordings together, and I just use the Discord recording to help sync up the tracks.
Okay, I got you.
So, but Riverside will kind of do that for you automatically, but sometimes I have problems with it. So,
yeah, I get you. Technology, it never acts like we want it to, just like my board here was doing when we started recording this podcast.
Yeah.
We had a hum, a phantom hum, the phantom hum. That's going to be my next, I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what it's going to be my next, but that's okay. Can you talk about what it's like, the dynamic of having different guests watch the movies and then talk with them? I'm all over the place. I know it, whenever I'm talking, but not all of your guests are like that. So can you just kind of talk about the dynamic you have with your guest and the having both of y'all watch the same movie and then chat about it?
Well, each guest is a little different. So there's a different tone to each episode, I think, depending on who the guest is. Some of them are a little goofier than others.
Right.
Some of them are taking it a little more seriously.
My dog, for those who are not watching but are listening, my dog just decided to come up and say hi to Dominic while he was in the middle of conversation. It's very casual here at Jed Talks Live.
Yeah.
Talking about the dynamics of different guests.
Yeah.
I bet you don't have dogs on yours, so
I don't. She stays outside until I'm done.
Yeah, I understand. I'm going to do a podcast just with my dogs at one point in time. It's just going to be how it's going to be.
Podcast for dogs.
Podcast for dogs. Do you have any funny stories or strange reactions that a guest has ever had from a movie that was either assigned to them or that they volunteered to watch?
I mean, probably the worst was from me when our buddy Billy Pond, this was one of the years with the open theme, and he wanted to do a movie called The Greasy Strangler.
The Greasy Strangler.
It is thoroughly unpleasant. He loves it. I did not care for it at all.
I get you. Billy Pond is a horror movie director. In case y'all don't know who he is, Dominic and I were both in one of his movies, or actually two of his movies that he does. He's a local West Texas filmmaker. So yeah, he does. He has an eye and a passion for stranger movies.
Yeah,
than we do. I'm the same way.
This one has a lot of male nudity.
Oh well, then definitely going to watch it.
Prosthetic little buddies,
right?
And this guy greases himself up before he kills somebody.
Oh my goodness!
And then he cleans off by just walking through the car wash.
Well, that's what it's there for, isn't it?
Yeah, it's sort of a horror movie version of Napoleon Dynamite.
Wow!
It all has that very deadpan delivery.
Is that how they pitched it?
I don't know, but it has that deadpan delivery that they have in Napoleon Dynamite, where there's not really much acting going on, and everything's just kind of monotone.
Yeah,
and awkward. So yeah, it's like that. Now I do enjoy Napoleon Dynamite, but I did not enjoy The Greasy Strangler.
You don't want your Napoleon Dynamite mixing with your horror movies. I get it. Fine.
Not this one. You watch it and get back to me.
No, there's no way I'm going to watch it. You did not sell it well. You told it well. You described it well.
You shouldn't watch it.
But
I
you
do
didn't
not recommend this movie to anybody.
No, I wouldn't either. I do not blame you. If you could program the ultimate monster movie marathon, what would be in it? Like, you'd said that you'd had like an open one kind of before, but this doesn't have to be like the 31 days necessarily, but like just an ultimate monster movie marathon. If you're going to say, hey, come out and watch this, what would be your picks for?
I think I would do like Dead Alive.
Yeah. Okay.
Dementia 13. Let me think what else. Yeah, just those two. No.
You're like, you get to come. It's a double feature. That's it.
The Wolfman, the Lon Chaney Wolfman.
Okay. Yeah. That's a classic.
Of those old ones, that one's my favorite because there's not a novel that it's fucking up.
Sure.
It's just its own thing.
Right. Which also usually lends itself to a lot of creativity and just freedom to do whatever it wants to do.
Maybe they live.
Mm-hmm.
Slither, maybe.
I've never seen. I love the artwork on the cover of the movie or for the poster of the movie for Sliver.
It's Nathan Fillion.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
James Gunn. James Gunn directed it.
I didn't know that either. That's crazy.
And I think
Superman director for those listening.
All the Mila Jovovich Resident Evil movies.
I've never seen one Resident Evil movie.
I watch frequently, maybe like once a year. I make my way through all of them.
Okay.
Oh, and that's the other one that at least once a year I watch them all is Scream.
Okay, well I can get behind that one.
Yeah.
I dig the Scream. Here we go. I dig the Scream movies.
Yeah,
I'm wearing a Scream shirt for those not watching but listening.
I love those movies. Even the later ones, I still enjoy them. There's supposed to be another one coming out. I'll watch it when it comes out.
Yeah, I know. There's supposed to be a new one coming out. I don't really know where they're going to go with them anymore, and I don't necessarily care. I just enjoy watching them. Do you ever get podcast fatigue during your 31 days? No? Okay.
If I had to do it all year long, I might.
Well, sure.
But there's not time to get tired.
October's the only time that you do 31 episodes. Yeah, okay. That's not bad then. That's not bad.
Yeah, if I were one of these like political guys who's trying to put stuff up on YouTube every day for several hours.
Right.
Yeah, I'd probably get old pretty quickly.
No, I don't. I don't blame you. Do what underrated horror movie deserves more love?
Oh, it's Dead Alive. Dead Alive.
Why is that?
I don't think it's that well known. It's one of Peter Jackson's early works. It is a symphony of gore.
Symphony of gore.
And it wasn't available for a long time. Now you can get a digital copy, I think, on Prime, Amazon Prime.
Right.
But for a while, it was out of print. I used to have a VHS copy. And I don't know if it was on DVD or if it was really limited.
Mm-hmm.
But you can find it now. And I recommend that you do.
I love that we live in this world. I used to work at the Alamo Draft House in Austin, Texas. This was before the digital revolution and everything was available online and Tubi and all these streaming networks. So about 20 some odd years ago. And that's how I first learned about Dead Alive. And we got to watch, all of his creativity in making that stuff. And this was about the time, I guess, that the Lord of the Rings was coming out. And that's why we were showing that stuff. And it was great because I had not heard about that movie before that point in time.
Gee, I can't remember what it is now, but there was something just the other day that it showed up on Tubi, and I was like, oh my goodness, this, they haven't been able to see this in forever. Now here it is on Tubi, and I can get it for free.
There was one that
I can't remember what it is now.
There was one that was that same line of thinking, like the fact that I had a DVD copy was like something that was coveted. And it's a movie called Hannibal Holocaust.
Okay.
No, it's not called Hannibal Holocaust.
Cannibal?
No, it's called. Hold on. Let me do a. I don't know why Hannibal Holocaust came into my brain, but now that needs to be a new movie from the
Asylum.
Sure.
Asylum?
The one I was trying to think of was Cannibal the Musical.
Oh yeah. I had a copy of that.
So, like I said, I don't know why that other one came into my head.
I can't remember if it was a VHS or a DVD, but I had a copy of that.
Yeah.
Is that on Tubi now?
I don't know, but I did see it on something digital the other day.
I remember what the thing was. It was a TV show. It's called Queen of Swords.
Okay. I don't know that one.
Oh, it was part of the golden age of syndicated action television from the 90s.
Okay. I'm about to say early 90s, right?
Yeah. Hercules, Xena.
Yeah.
Relic Hunter, Beastmaster, Conan.
You're going to throw Buffy into that one too?
A couple of Tarzans. No, well, Buffy wasn't syndicated. I'm talking about the stuff you'd see on Saturday or Sunday afternoon.
That's true. I guess that's true.
Depending on where you live, you might or might not see it.
Sure.
So she's Lady Zorro. Sony tried to sue. That's how close it is. But because the original novel was in the public domain, they failed in the lawsuit. They didn't fail because it wasn't a ripoff of Zorro. It's just legally you were allowed to rip off Zorro.
Right. Speaking of, that was one of my questions coming up is what were your thoughts on some of these, all this stuff is becoming public domain. The original Mickey Mouse, the Winnie the Pooh, the original Winnie the Pooh. What and there's a company. You probably know the name of it. That they've already started making the horror movie for these.
Yeah,
and they're just waiting for it to come out so that it can be like, okay, release.
I don't know what the company is, but there's more than one.
Yeah,
because there's like at least 3 Popeyes.
Oh, that's
so
right.
What you're talking about is these characters fall into the public domain, and somebody decides to make a horror movie version of it.
Yeah, and I know you're a big public domain guy.
It started with Winnie the Pooh, and now there's been, I think, 2 Mickey Mouses.
And they're making a sequel to the Winnie the Pooh one, too.
I think it's out already. There was some, and I don't know if this was connected, but there was a thing called Piglet that I think maybe was a separate company.
Oh, Piglet.
Because Piglet's also in the public domain. And now Popeye fell into the public domain, and they jumped on that.
Of course.
No, I think they're terrible.
I'm sure they are.
They're all bad movie. All
it's
the ones I've seen.
Grab.
Well, I don't get. Winnie the Pooh's in the public domain, so instead of making new children's books or cartoons about Winnie the Pooh, I'm going to turn it into a horror movie.
Well,
it's just stupid.
I mean, it's a cash grab.
I think it's partly because horror's cheap. Animation is expensive. horror is cheap, and you don't even need a plot.
Sure.
You just need a collection of victims and a monster.
And I have no personal problem with if you're going to make a scary movie out of something that's beloved by children or whatever, it's part of the an animated classic or something like that. I think it's actually quite interesting. What I don't like is the casual nature of like I don't feel like a lot of thought was put into some of these.
Right.
And I've never watched them, so I can't say anything. But like the trailers don't make me want to watch them.
I think there might be a Peter Pan one. There's a one that I don't think is in the public domain, but it's called The Mean One, and it's clearly the Grinch.
Oh, yeah.
But if it were in the public domain, they would call it the Grinch. They would call it The Mean One. But that's obviously what it's about.
Super flying guy.
I haven't watched that one.
Right. You can still make the movie. You just can't use the name Super Flying Guy.
Yeah.
The Awesome Seven. Trying to think of some more just public domain safe names that we could use for all of these things.
Yeah.
So what have you learned from pushing yourself to create at this pace in October? Every October?
Discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just discipline. Just get it done.
But do you enjoy it still?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, walk us through your process. Do you watch the movie on the day of that you're going to be recording the podcast and then do the podcast and then publish the podcast? Is that the way it goes, or you record them a couple ahead of time? Or I just can't imagine pushing one out every day.
Right. I watch
the same day that I record it and watch it, man.
I watch the movies whenever I can. So I might watch a couple of them ahead of time. I used to make a lot of notes. I don't make so many notes anymore.
Right. That's what I do whenever I'm assigned a movie as well.
For our regular shows, we go through the plot. We usually just take the summary from Wikipedia if it's long enough.
Right.
And then just comment on it as we read it. When I first started, I'd make a lot of notes and we would just go through the notes, but that just took too long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But with the 31 Days of Horror, we tend to just be a little, the episodes tend to be a little shorter.
Right.
And we don't necessarily break down the whole plot scene by scene. We just talk about what we liked and what we didn't like. And it's a little broader conversation, not quite so detailed. So they tend to be more like a half an hour rather than 40 minutes to an hour.
Okay. I get you. Yeah.
But that just depends on the guest and if we get on any tangents.
I know whenever you and I talk, we get on some tangents.
Yeah. You know that one we did last year, the algorithm on YouTube killed it because of the title.
What was the
Pussy
title of
Cake?
It? Yes.
Pussy Cake was the name of the band. It's a terrible title because it tells you nothing about the movie. It was a sort of a zombie movie. We called it a zombie movie. It called itself a zombie movie.
Wasn't it also partly an alien movie?
Well, it was in another dimension.
Oh yeah, okay.
So depending on how you define alien,
right?
Somebody had made a device and opened a rift. But we learned through the course of these zombie movies that in movies, zombies are defined by their behavior, not their origin. So if they act like zombies, it doesn't matter whether or not they're dead who have risen up or whether they're living things that have been infected by a virus. If they act in a certain way, we call them zombies.
Gotcha.
So if they're sort of mindless and just trying to kill you and or eat you, they count as zombies.
Okay.
And that's what these things were doing. They were technically being possessed by some sort of interdimensional aliens, but they were behaving like zombies, and you had to kill them like zombies, I think. But anyway, because you look at how many views each video has gotten, and it can fluctuate wildly, but during the 31 days, it tends to be sort of steady, and just nobody watched Pussy Cake. And I'm like, I bet the YouTube algorithm did not like that title.
I know it's ridiculous.
So I went back and I changed the title. I put an asterisk and hit seeing if that would help. I haven't checked lately to see how many views there are, but I also featured it on the front page of our website.
Oh, okay.
Hoping that might get some some more listens.
It's a fun listen. If you haven't heard it, you should go and check it out on his site.
Go on YouTube. We need YouTube subscribers, by the way, because we can't monetize until we get a certain number of subscribers.
Right there with you, pal.
But we are on everything though. We're on Spotify and Apple and all the things.
All the sites.
Good Pods is another one. We keep making the Good Pods top 100 or top 50 of various lists.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that's with like nobody listening on Good Pods. So if just like 10 of you went and listened on Good Pods, it would probably bump us way up to the top of those lists.
Well, that means, hey man, get your audience wherever they're listening, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. Are there any horror movie hills that you're willing to die on?
I'm not sure what you mean by that. You mean
it's just like
a good movie. I don't care what anybody says.
Kind of, yeah. It's like, yeah, exactly.
Let me think.
This is. I know it's a hard question. I get it.
Nothing's coming to mind. I'm trying to think of what is a thing that I like that nobody else does, or a thing that I hate that everybody else likes.
Well, I'll tell you one. Just because we were having this conversation a minute ago, it may not be a hill that you're willing to die on type movie, but like you were telling me about. Oh God! Now my brain just went blank. The Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh yeah.
Killer Clown. And you said I think you said you started watching it and then couldn't even get through it. And I was like, how long ago was that? You're like, 20 years ago, something like that. I'm like, I actually like that. I dig that movie. And so, what is it that you don't like about that movie specifically? I
don't remember any details really. I just think it was really stupid.
Yeah.
I just wasn't buying just this, I don't know, this tent just showed up out of nowhere and these clowns just start killing people for no reason. And
that kind of sounds like another movie that we were both in.
Yeah. I just wasn't feeling it and I turned it off. And I've suffered through a lot of bad movies. There's very few movies I've just turned off.
Right.
One of them was Freddy Got Fingered.
Oh God, yeah, no, I couldn't. I'm willing to die on that hill. I will almost not watch any movie. At least back then, he's a different person now. What's the guy's name?
Tom Green.
Tom Green. He's a different kind of personality than he was back in the '90s and early 2000s when he was doing this stuff. But there was some like any movie that he was in, I would almost not watch. Well, just on principle.
A couple of times in my life, I've been put in a position where I'm kind of lecturing or teaching on comedy, and I use Tom Green as an example of not understanding the basics of comedy and yet being paid to do it.
Well, was it Lorne Michaels has the same kind of a process whenever he's approving or not approving sketches on SNL, and he's like, there's ha ha funny, and then there's ha ha, or there's weird funny, and he definitely falls into that weird funny, but almost like you said, a different level. Well, another offshoot.
So here's the problem with
cringe comedy. I don't know.
I'll try not to do the entire lecture, but Tom Green understands like half of the idea of comedy, but not the other half. And the thing is, you have to create some sort of pain or discomfort, but then you have to make it safe. There has to be some distance.
Sure.
It's a matter of creating tension and then release.
Right. We all need that release.
There's some sort of an attack of some kind, and there's tension. And then when you realize that it's safe, it's okay, then you release and the laughter comes out.
Right.
This is how tickling works. Your body thinks it's being attacked. And
everybody loves tickling.
Yeah. But that's how it works. Your body thinks it's under attack, and then it realizes it's not, it's okay, and it releases the tension. So Tom understands the tension part, but he doesn't understand the making it safe. So like when he brings a petting zoo into his parents' house and they just wreck the place, the discomfort that his parents are going through is real.
Sure.
And then part of whether or not you find this funny has to do with your level of empathy. So if you're empathizing with his parents and how much he's actually fucked up their house, you're not going to find this funny.
It's the same thing with the Jackass movies.
When he painted his father's car with like a couple lesbians naked making out, and now his dad has to take a cab to work. He can't take that car to work. He's just ruined his dad's day and probably his whole week.
Right.
And
this would all be like nowadays it would be like, oh, you do this to get views.
Yeah.
Right. Which is basically what he was doing before there was the internet or at least the social media. And
so he doesn't understand that making it safe part of comedy.
Right.
So that's why I don't care for Tom Green.
I get
It's
you.
not funny.
No, I get you. Like I said, he's a different person than he is now, or than he was then. So, I've never watched that movie almost just on principle. And it shows up in the weirdest things too. Him playing the pianos with the strings. Like I know that's part of the movie, even though I've never seen the damn thing. Yeah. Goodness. Do you have any advice for creators who want to tackle a big challenge like trying to do 31 podcasts in a month?
Yeah, just do it.
That's trademarked.
Nonetheless,
Nike's not a sponsor, but if they'd like to be, we're open for suggestions.
If you have any project, if you're writing a book, if you're wanting to do a podcast, if you want to make a little movie, just do it.
Yeah.
Don't wait for circumstances to be perfect. Don't worry about whether your output is perfect. Just go out and do it.
Because you're going to learn a lot along the way.
Yeah.
So much along the way. Absolutely agree with that. So do you have a favorite horror movie?
I have a current favorite kaiju movie.
Okay.
Which is Godzilla -1.
I've heard good things about that. I've not watched it, but I've heard good things.
Got an Academy Award.
So what is it?
And they should have. Japan did not put it up for best foreign language film, and they should have. It won for special effects,
right?
Which it deserved that too,
right?
But I think it would have won if they'd had the nerve to put it up for best foreign film.
But you got to give it to them. That's monster movies usually don't win.
It's good, but it's that good.
These kinds of accolades.
Yeah,
so
it's that good of a movie.
Okay, I'll have to check that one out. I keep hearing good things about it, so I
should be on Netflix right now.
Okay, I will make a note to do that, to watch that one. So of this upcoming 31 Days of Horror, the Mars Needs Monsters. Mm-hmm. No, yes, is that what it's called?
Mars Needs Movies.
Mars Needs Movies.
You know where the title comes from?
Mars Needs Moms.
Yes and no.
Okay.
The movie before that.
Oh.
Mars Needs Women. The original movie.
Okay.
That Mars Needs Moms takes its title.
Oh, I see.
So we're going to be doing that. I've already recorded that episode.
The mom one or the
both.
Oh, okay.
I've recorded them.
Both of those are featured.
Yeah. I've recorded Mars Needs movie. Mars Needs Women already. It's not good, folks. Don't watch it. But I haven't.
Spoiler alert! Jeez.
Well, the thing is, it's a bad movie, but it's had a lot of influence in popular culture. There's multiple songs that are either called Mars Needs Women or that reference it or sample it.
Okay.
So, like Frank Zappa and Rob Zombie and things like that.
Rob Zombie, he's not known for anything horror related, is he? What do you think about Rob Zombie as a horror movie director?
I've enjoyed some of his stuff. I don't think I cared for his Halloween, or maybe it was his Halloween 2. Yeah, I think it was Halloween 2. It got kind of weird with the horse and the lady in the white dress and stuff.
I don't remember much about that one. I do like the one that what's the other guy that they made a Halloween movie right after that. I can see his face. Can't remember his name right now.
I don't know.
East Down and Bound.
He made a Halloween movie. Oh yeah. You're talking about the recent ones.
Mm-hmm.
The trilogy.
Yeah.
Danny McBride.
Danny McBride,
star of Your Highness.
Your Highness. Righteous Gemstones. Wasn't he? He was in a horror movie, I think. Maybe not.
I don't know, but he had something to do with the
Halloween, the
Halloween
new ones.
reboot.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you call it a reboot. Requel.
Yeah. We're just making up words now.
Well, no, they use that in Scream, like 6, I think. They talk about requels.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Which the Halloweens are. It's where you make a sequel but ignore the previous sequels.
Mm-hmm.
So you acknowledge the original film, but none of the things that came between that and your version.
They did that with
I think that's
the Terminator movies too.
More than once.
Mm-hmm, more than once. That makes sense.
But yeah, they've done it with Halloween, and I feel like there's some other things that they've done that with.
Yep, I think you're right.
The hill I would die on.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Alien 3.
Oh,
I love Alien 3.
Oh, so that's not where I thought you were going.
I think it's a fine movie, an excellent movie.
Even with the crappy effects.
Yeah, the effects are fine.
CG.
I like the
Alien.
Ripley as Christ figure. I like it. I like everybody's performance in it. I have a friend, probably multiple friends, who are just mad that it kind of erases the previous movie. But that's what the Alien destroys things. You don't get to have a happy ending. That's not what the Alien will ruin that. It's what it's about. If you're going to have any sort of sequel, the Alien's got to fuck up everything that came before. So I have no problem that, we thought we had this happy ending, but then we didn't, because that's what the Alien does. It destroys.
The lack of a happy ending does not make me not like that movie. There was many other things, but I understand that that's your hill.
Conversely, Alien 4, whatever that's called.
Resurrection?
Resurrection, yeah. It's terrible. I don't think there's anybody out there arguing for that one.
No.
But yeah, I hate that one.
Yeah, no, I get it. I understand.
Mostly because they thought they had to put Ripley in it when she had no business being in it. Because she
let her die already.
The thing is, they didn't do a requel. They didn't say, let's ignore number 3. They said, no, she died, but we're going to put her in it anyway.
Right.
And it was stupid.
That is not what it needed. Right. Yeah. Have you watched any of the, speaking of Alien?
Yep.
Have you watched any of the Alien Earth?
Watched it all. What'd
you think?
I enjoyed it.
There's been lots of debate online about that. And I watched it as well. Mine and my friend Holly, we both watched it. And we had some complaints about it. Like why there were so many Disney cartoons that were playing during this. It's the most amount of Disney cartoons you'll see in an Alien movie or show ever.
They were going with a Peter Pan motif.
But even like not even referencing the Peter Pan part, which is its own thing. Like there was 3 or 4 different Disney movies that they showed them watching, and you saw clips of it. And
because it was made by Disney.
I get that, but
they
still,
didn't have to pay anything.
It's like
they didn't have to ask any permission. They didn't have to pay anything extra.
Sure, but the Avengers movies were made by Disney too, and there weren't any Disney cartoons in those. You know what I mean? It's like just because it was made. Don't even get me started.
Well, no, but once you've decided you're going to put a cartoon in your movie, well, what cartoons does my production company own? That's all. They're not going to put them in there just to have them, but if they decide they need them, that's what they're going to use.
It was just so weird. I apologize if you're hearing crunching. That's me crunching on my. I'm not one of those people who can just suck on a.
3.
That is absolutely me, and it's horrible. And my dentist hates me for it. But
I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the most recent one. When we were trying to watch the two episode premiere, for some reason when it was time for the second episode to start, we were watching it on Hulu. It started showing partway through Alien Romulus.
Really?
And we're like, is this a mistake? What's going on here? Eventually, we just had to turn it off and come back out and go back into it. Yeah. And it started properly. I don't know why.
I've had a glitch like that in a movie before on Hulu. I'm going to say it was Hulu. But yeah, you're just like, is this? And you sit there for the longest time.
Yeah.
Going like, is this part of the...
I thought after the commercial break it would fix, and it didn't. So
did I just have a brain freeze and forget part of something that happened that made this?
So what is it
logical?
That people online are not liking? They're afraid of, is there some continuity problem they're having, or
I'm trying to remember what it was that people were complaining about. I'll tell you. I can tell you what one of the things that while we were watching it that we kept thinking was funny was the fact that like he would go into, I'm not going to spoil anything by really saying in this either, there's aliens in the Alien series, so the alien is just kill this entire room of people in this ballroom, right? I think it was a ballroom. People were dressed up in like 19th or 18th century, whatever kind of ballroom kind of thing that they were doing. The alien gets unleashed in there and like just obliterates the entire party. And so one of the guys walks in and he's seeing all this mass destruction around him. And he notices a baseball. And then he's like, he's walking around. He doesn't even care about all this death and dismemberment around him. He's stepping over people, slipping maybe a little bit in the blood. I don't know. But he's just focused on this baseball. And
it was autographed, man.
Sure, it was autographed.
Fortune.
So what? Who gives a shit?
He was going to retire with that baseball.
It was just so, it's like, I mean, you could be like, oh, I'm going to grab this baseball and then get the fuck out of here.
I mean, the problem I have, and
so
I'm
ridiculous.
I'm gonna give a spoiler now. The problem I have is the basic premise. Those kids are dead. They're not immortal. They're dead.
The ones, the kids that got transferred into the Lost Boys.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, but there was no transfer. They didn't transplant their brains. They made copies,
right,
and uploaded them.
Right. They're basically doing a digital download of this person and then putting it into a body.
That's not immortality. That's a copy, and that person is dead.
That's right. There's no frozen Walt Disneys why didn't they just go there?
If you have the original brain intact and you give it a prosthetic body, that is a form of immortality.
Sure.
But if all you've done is made an electronic copy of the brain and put it in the robot, it's just a robot.
Okay. Well, that's I guess that's true.
But the show itself comes to that conclusion at the end. Like the copied robot itself says all you did was kill 6 kids.
Right. Well, and I am looking forward. I really enjoyed. I don't remember how we got off on this tangent of talking about aliens, but because that was your hill you would die on. That's right.
Yeah,
Alien 3. But I really enjoyed how much it reminded me of, at least in the first episodes or couple of episodes, how it reminded me of the first, being on the ship of the very first Alien.
Well, that's flashback episode is just Alien.
Yeah, it was pretty nice there. All right, well, we're coming to the conclusion of our show, but I wanted to do a lightning round of questions, and I think it'd be fun. I don't know if I'm going to answer any of these as well, but I would hope that you will.
Okay.
So the first lightning round question is Freddy, Jason, or Michael Myers?
Pass. I don't give a shit about any of those guys.
Right out of the gate.
I can't.
But that in and of itself is an answer.
Yeah, I don't care. None of the above.
See,
don't really care about them.
I would say Freddy if I'm gonna shout out mine, and not even because I can sit through all of the Freddy movies, but they're so his sense of humor and his bad puns that he makes.
Okay,
that's the only reason I can. That's the only reason I can sit through it.
Here's another hill I'll die on. The original Halloween, boring.
Sure.
He kills 3 people.
Sure.
Big whoop. Problem is I didn't see it till 20 years after it came out.
Right.
So,
you'd already been...
I'd been desensitized.
You'd already been incensed, as they say in the song.
Yeah. So I'd been desensitized, and I'm like, what? That's it?
Sure. That's why, another spoiler alert, on the upcoming movie that I'm going to be doing for your 31 Days of Horror, is it okay if I say it?
Yeah.
Is one of my actual favorite movies, which is Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Love that movie. And I just imagine anybody watching it today being like, this is so slow and boring,
It's very slow.
but it's so good. And I guess I just watched it at a younger age where it just was it was enthralling. It was fine that it was a slow burn.
I was 9 or 10 when it came out.
Yeah.
I loved it when I was a kid.
Yeah, I still love it.
It's a bunch of nonsense now, but
But it's the same thing with 2001: A
Let's save it
Space
then.
Odyssey.
Oh my God.
It's such a
That
slow
is the-
burn, but
that
I
is
love
the-
that movie.
To me, that's one of the most overrated. That and Blade Runner, the most overrated science fiction movies.
I can kind of agree with you on Blade Runner 2001. I still love it.
Blade Runner. You see your Raiders of the Lost Ark over there.
Yeah.
You know the idea that Indiana Jones doesn't actually affect the outcome of anything, that would have ended the same way without him. Same thing with the one I was just saying.
Oh, Blade Runner.
Blade Runner. Yeah, Blade Runner.
Damn it, Harrison Ford.
Yeah, they're both Harrison Ford. Yeah, they're both Harrison Ford. He does not affect the outcome. Not symbiotes. What are they called? Replicants. They're on a timer. Their timer's running down, and in fact, there's probably be less havoc if he weren't trying to hunt them. They would just quietly run out of battery power.
Right. Why are we spending all of our tax dollars? We the people.
These Blade Runners, if we just let the replicants run down like they've been designed to do, instead of these shootouts in the street with these Blade Runners.
How funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. What horror movie scared you the most as a kid?
That would be Dementia 13.
Oh my goodness. I've never heard of that one.
There's just an image. It's not so much scared. There's an image, and it's in the beginning of the movie that just really stuck with me.
Yeah.
And it's these dolls have been tied to rocks and thrown in a lake. So they're like sort of floating underwater,
Kind of
being held down by the rocks. Yeah. It's really creepy.
It is creepy.
Very creepy. and Tommy.
Tommy. I don't know.
I was way too young when I watched the movie Tommy. It's not a horror movie, but there's a couple of horrific scenes in it
No. Okay.
that are very visually striking.
Kind of like the Rolling Stones movie documentary.
I haven't seen it.
Just some disturbing things. And this is the unauthorized release one from like when they were back in the 70s or whatever.
Okay.
Not any new one that they're about to release, which I think they are. So I'm trying to remember what the name of it is, but it's not coming to me.
Okay.
That's underrated monster movie that everyone should watch at least once. You may have already said this one, but I can't remember.
Yeah, they Dead Alive.
Dead Alive. That's right. You did say that one. If you could only watch one horror franchise for the rest of your life,
Scream.
You didn't even let me finish the thought, and I even knew what your answer was going to be.
Yeah.
That totally makes sense. What's the best horror movie to introduce a non-horror fan to the genre?
You don't want to start with Dead Alive. That's too much. It's too intense. Too intense. Again, I'm going to go with Scream.
Sure, because it's an explainer.
My mother enjoyed the Scream movies. She's
Okay.
not into horror, not into gore. But every now and then there'd be something like Kill Bill. She loved Kill Bill.
Sure.
Very violent movie.
Wow. That was my dog Jackson. Apparently he's
But
on his own microphone.
But she loved Kill Bill. She loved the Scream movies. So I think those would be a good choice.
Okay. Wow. I've had to be the person to introduce people to horror movies before. And while it's probably not a great, there's probably better ones to introduce them to. I always do a 1-2 punch. I always like to do Evil Dead 2 and then Army of Darkness.
Okay.
That's my good 1-2 punch introducing people to horror movies.
It also kind of depends on what kind of horror movies.
Right. I'm not a body horror kind of person,
Like I would maybe choose Lost Boys or Fright Night.
Right. Like, so if you're going vampire or if you're going zombie or if you're going, sure. It's such a wide range of movies. So I definitely understand. What's the best horror movie to introduce? Oh, that's what I just asked. Womp womp. Yeah. Sorry, guys. It's okay. Thank you. Got to have my sound effects. Would you rather fight one giant monster or 10 tiny monsters?
How tiny?
I don't know.
You just mean human sized or smaller than human? Are we talking gremlins, critters size?
I think it's just one large versus many multiple masses.
I mean, you can't fight the large ones. You can't do it.
You shoot a.
You call the army, they come, they do the pew pew, and it doesn't do any good.
Right.
And So yeah, it's got.
So Godzilla always kills the big monster.
Well, I mean, in
the
the original movie, spoilers, he does die, but I wouldn't say somebody fights him. They create a device that,
right,
and they have to sacrifice themselves to detonate it. So
you would say many small ones, since the large one's unbeatable.
You got a good baseball bat, you can take care of those small ones.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Those pencils right there, the sharpened pencils.
Yeah, you can just stab them with the Chicago.
Especially if they're a vampire.
That's true. Right in the neck.
What
or
you
the
don't
forehead.
want is a mechanical pencil. If it's a vampire, that's no good.
Right. I mean, especially if it's a very fast kind of situation, because click 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 click. It's just not gonna. Plus, there's no wood.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's not the graphite
exactly. They're plastic. They're no good against vampires.
Some of them are metal, but it still has no effect on them. Okay, I think I know the answer to this one. Practical effects or CGI monsters? What's scarier?
I mean, that's just a matter of quality.
Sure. Yeah. We grew up in different times.
Yeah. That's because there's bad CGI, there's bad practical effects. Then
do you have a preference? Do you prefer CGI over practical or no?
I don't think I prefer it. It just depends on what you're doing. Now, Godzilla -1, it's all CGI. I think somebody still did a motion capture though.
Mm-hmm.
I know in the MonsterVerse ones, a person did a motion capture for both Kong and Godzilla.
Yeah, I agree though.
So that's kind of a combination.
It's got to be good CGI.
But if you're doing like a slasher movie or something like that, then I would go with practical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
definitely.
Well, that's, and I'll go back to it. It's not even necessarily a horror movie, but it gets that rap in a way sometimes. The first Jurassic Park,
mm-hmm.
Another one of my favorites. One of those I watch at least once a year. And it did the perfect blend of CGI and practical.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I think people are starting to do that again now. Right. Now that this pendulum has swung all the way to one side for so long, that they're finally starting to come back again. Same thing with people that, everybody was shooting digital, and that pendulum has finally started to swing back again, where people are like, shooting on film is not so bad. There's benefits, and there's, to using both. So,
well, okay. Have you seen 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later?
I've seen days and weeks, but not the years one.
There's an issue right now with Days. I think maybe it came out on Netflix now. They didn't want to release Days because they shot it on digital.
Right.
And once you've shot it on digital, that's it. That's as good as it gets.
Right. You can't upscale it.
You can't 4K that shit. Mm-mm. But Casablanca, you can put out a 4K and it's worth it.
Because it was shot on film.
It's shot on film, and there's people, if you don't know, the film has a lot of detail that you don't actually see because you're shining a light through it and you're projecting it at 100 feet away or whatever.
Yep.
And so it gets diffused. But if you go back into that original film and those negatives, you can extract, with our modern techniques, you can extract that detail. So in another 10 years, they might come out with an 8K version of Casablanca. But when you shoot on digital, whatever the resolution you're shooting at, that's as good as it's going to get. You can't make it any better.
And another way to think about it is if you have a slide or a slice of an actual film reel and you've got a picture that you took on a camera in a non-film camera like in the 90s or whatever, or early 2000s, and you just start zooming in on it, right? You'll be able to zoom in on that film for quite some time before it starts becoming fuzzy or blurry, or you can't tell what the detail is. It does not take that long when you're zooming in on a digital picture to be like, oh, it's all pixelated, and it's going to stay pixelated. Now, to that, I'm sure that there's going to be a way that AI is going to be able to do it somehow. They can do something with it. But we've seen some bad AI restorations in some of these new 4K releases. Like I think Aliens just got like a 4K release, and it had some AI fixes and all that, but like and I can't believe it was actually released that way. But you can see like in the background, like where it was normally some guy, you couldn't tell if he was necessarily smiling or frowning, but in the AI kind of fixed it for him. He's making a face that humans can't make instead.
I haven't seen this one. I don't know. I do know they did some AI nonsense with Wizard of Oz so they could project it on the dome.
Oh, the sphere in Vegas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I saw a clip of it. I was like, okay, when they first described it and why they were doing it,
it's an interesting concept.
I thought it sounded like, okay, maybe that's a use for AI. But then I looked at it and I was like, oh no, this is garbage. It had that AI stench about it, even though it was a scene you'd seen a dozen times before.
Right.
Because they were doing something to stitch different shots together into one shot.
Because you have such a large canvas to work on.
It had that look to it. It had that AI look to it. And
right.
like, you've ruined it.
Right. Doesn't pass the smell test. Yeah. That's my complaint with a lot of AI stuff, unfortunately.
It's going to destroy everything.
Yeah, but then again, just like we were talking about before, I think the pendulum will swing. You know, it's going to get worse before it's going to get better. That's for damn sure. Okay, if you were a final girl, final guy in a horror film, what would be your survival strategy?
Call the police.
The end. Man, this is a short movie. The trailers were longer than that movie was. That's it. Just call the police. I mean, you live out in where you can't get a cell phone signal sometimes, so you can't call the police. Yeah. I mean that's ridiculous that we live in towns that's the case.
Not according to Billy Bob Thornton.
I have nothing but love for Billy Bob Thornton, but
I mean, I guess a good swift kick to the balls would be my strategy. Don't bother trying to run. Just you gotta stand up to a bully.
Sure. Okay. All right. I can take that one. Mine's always going to be some sort of weapon, I guess. Like I feel like sometimes they're afraid to just like shoot first and ask questions later. And I'm not necessarily a huge pro gun person.
That's your answer, guns.
But I'm just saying, it's a life and death situation.
But once you pull out a gun, then what's to stop the serial killer from pulling out a gun?
Well, that's why you got to do it first.
I'm just saying there's certain rules. Jason uses a machete,
right?
But if you bring a gun to the knife fight, Jason might be inclined to pick up a gun, and then what are you going to do?
Oh, he hasn't had proper training on it. I'm pretty sure. He doesn't have a license.
Freddy Krueger starts packing heat. You're in trouble. He's like, screw this glove.
That's right.
He'd get a new gun glove.
He takes it off mid-scene. Yeah. Is there an eject all button on this?
Bullets start coming out of his fingers instead.
Oh, my goodness.
He's doing dream shit. He could do that.
Well, yeah. I mean, he can do anything. He made somebody a cockroach and smashed him. So he can literally do anything.
Like you do.
Like you do. What snack pairs well with scary movie marathons?
It's popcorn, man.
What?
Popcorn. It's got to be popcorn.
I've never heard. What is this? Is this new?
Popped corn.
Oh, popped corn.
Popped corn.
Popped corn. Well, of course, always popcorn. Do you do just plain popcorn? Do you mix in any mix-ins?
Butter, man.
Man,
I don't do blood. I don't do blood corn. I just put some butter on it.
Blood corn. I don't know who is doing blood corn.
It's from the book Drive-In.
Oh,
by Joe R. Lansdale.
Remind me not to go have popcorn at that guy's
I can't
house.
remember if it was a caramel thing or if it was just colored butter topping, but they served blood corn at the drive-in.
I love caramel. Just going to put that out
Joe
there
R.
since you
Lansdale.
mentioned it.
He wrote Bubba Hotep.
Oh, okay. I do love that movie too. It's a fun one. That was one of the podcasts that I did with Dominic on one of his 31 days. Okay, last question. If your October podcast marathon were haunted by a horror villain, who would you least want it to be and why?
Who would I least want it to be? I would at least want it to be Jason Voorhees because he's stupid.
Not because of his powers or anything, just because I don't like
he's all over the place. First, it's not him; it's his mother.
Right.
Then, well, he's not dead. He is also a thing. And then he dies. And then he gets turned into a zombie. And then he's actually an alien parasite.
Goes to space.
And then he's in space. And with like 2 different people from Gene Roddenberry's Andromeda on it. I don't know. Jason is stupid.
Well, folks, I think that's as good as any time to end our show with Jason is stupid. That's going to wrap up today's episode of Jed Talks Live. Huge thanks to Dominic for joining me today and for sharing behind the scenes of his 31 Days of Horror tradition. If you want to follow along with his marathon or check out his podcast, I'll drop the links in the show notes. If you enjoyed this conversation, make sure to hit follow or subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. I've got more amazing guests lined up, and you won't want to miss them. Until next time, I'm Jed. That's Dominic. This has been Jed Talks Live. Stay curious, and maybe keep a silver bullet handy, just in case. See you later.